Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me in another class of Straight Talking Room 503. I am your host, Morris Merriweather, the author of Enough is Enough. Public education has spiraled out of control. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for attending class today, and I do appreciate it. I don't want you to ever think I take you for granted. I'm glad that you're here. We have an exciting class presentation for today. If you would get your paper and pencil out and take the theme or the topic for today would be the pawn shop. The pawn shop. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, there are some things that I need to talk with you about. So at this time, I'm going to pause for a brief word of prayer, and then we will get underway. We certainly want to give praises to God. So at this time, join me in a brief word of prayer. Almighty God, we just come thanking you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to praise you. Lord, you're worthy to be praised. And I want you to know that this host and this author recognize you as Lord and Savior in Jesus Christ in my life. Thank you for all that you've done for me. Now, Lord, as Reverend Baxter and I continue the journey of making sure that public education in my hometown and abroad, make sure that all children are given an afford opportunity to get a positive and a quality education. Lord, we ask our blessings upon the Board of Education, the superintendent, and all of the staff as they work to make sure that all children and not some children get a quality education. We give you praises in Jesus' name. Amen. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get on the way. Thank you again, as I said before, for coming. I want to bring you some things that's going on in my hometown. And if you'll take a look at it, it's going on in your hometown as well. You just haven't taken the time to look at it. But ladies and gentlemen, I retired from the Madison County school system in 2007. And I wanted to write a book about the failure of public education because I had personal experience that all children was not receiving a quality education. So therefore, I wanted to write a book. And so I prayed about it, and God ordained it and made it possible for me. And there were several people that was very assistant in helping me, and I gave them credit as in the introduction of the book. The book is entitled Enough is Enough, Public Education Has Spiraled Out of Control. Ladies and gentlemen, the book has done well. I thank God for that. I really think that it could have done better, but at the same time, I'm not complaining. I didn't write the book to become rich or to get a lot of money. I wrote the book to inform the people of this United States of America, not in my hometown, because the book is on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, my website, www.morrismerriweather.com. And ladies and gentlemen, the book, if you get it from the author, you can get it for $10. Otherwise, it's $12.95. And it's very easy to get the book. More people of color is not purchasing the book. It's more people of people of color who are purchasing the book. They want to know what Merriweather's up to. They understand that Merriweather has the experience and has been out there and that he knows what he's talking about. And so they are not sharing the thing that a lot of the people are sharing now, that Merriweather and Baxter are angry black men who are troublemakers. They're saying that now because Merriweather is about to go on the Board of Education in August 2018, and they know that Merriweather is going to win. And they want to stop him because if Merriweather can talk about what he knows to be the truth, and there are they are administrators, teachers, students, and all who on a daily basis texting me, calling me, I need you to know this. This is going on. And so they know that the information they got, along with the superintendent of school, he knows that the information is going on. That was the reason that they took me off of the sub list, because I was in and out of all those schools. And there was too many people talking to me, and I was gaining too much knowledge. And that I could interfere with the hiring of their sons and daughters and friends in the school system. And that I knew the players. I was very familiar with Dr. Zambito. I was very familiar with the superintendents prior to her, very familiar with Dr. Ruffin. Dr. Ruffin didn't listen to me when I was among the first person to ask the question at Liberty School, told her that she was being used, that they're using you to bring those white kids back into our district. Over 2,000 has fled our system, and no one has said anything about it in our churches or nowhere except Meriwether. And that it's a good job to run to or run from. She thought that they loved her, and I kept trying to tell her, they're bringing you in to use you. And they brought Zambito in to bullwink of the black community to come out of Unitary status, and they was able to get to our leaders and do that. And got us out of Unitary status, out of the court. And they doing now what the hell they want to do. So that goes to show you that those of us in the community, oh, I have a doctorate degree, I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor, I'm an Indian chief. Well, you might be to yourself, but that you're not impressing Meriwether. I'm looking for just an ordinary person with common sense. That's what I'm looking for. When I had my school, I didn't look at you. I read over your little resume. It didn't mean anything because you could have lied about it or had sex or do whatever to get it. I don't know. And I'm not saying that you did. But at the same time, I put your application and your resume aside and said, now talk to me. Tell me what you're interested in doing. What's your stand on this? So everybody who worked at my school would tell you that I had a different interviewing process because I was under the auspices of God and didn't have any of my staff that was leaving the school and didn't want to be there with Meriwether because I ran a good school, a safe school, and students learn. And so, anyway, the superintendent, Allen, came over to the school accusing myself and the staff of giving grades because they couldn't understand why is it that Nene, Pee Wee, and Bubba and them are not doing anything but raising hell in the school under us. But then they come over here and they grades going up. And I told him then, look, Mr. Superintendent, I said, you can't come into the school. You the superintendent, but you got me running the school. You can't come into school accusing me and my staff of giving grades. You are upset because the students are doing well when they return to the school. And that's going to hurt the overall scheme of what you all want to do with little black kids. So I'm not going to sit here and talk. If you want to fire me, you fire me now. I got to go back to work. I'll see you at 2:15 and you can hand me my pink slip. He's living and dead now. And Meriwether continued as superintendent, didn't want to be his super and take his job, but as principal of the school. So the way I speak to you each week and the way I talk, I haven't changed over the years. I've been like this ever since I was a kid. At age 16, I said to my mom, I want to go to integrated school. I want to make sure that I get a quality education. They're passing down books that are 2 years behind. I can't be on the forefront with books but 2 years behind. I'm just as important as they. So mama allowed me to go when I was among the 12 blacks who integrated schools and graduated from an all-white school. They gave me hell, but look here. I'm here today. As Whoopi Goldberg said, I'm here. I may be black, but I'm here. Of course, Whoopi said I may be ugly, but I'm here. But I may be ugly too, but I think I'm beautiful in God's sight. So I'm not really concerned about all of the things that you're talking about. But anyway, let's move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Reverend Baxter and I do want to thank you, Reverend Baxter, for traveling the journey with me. Tried to get some of the faith-based community and people that I know and some of my so-called friends and what have you. Hadn't been able to get them, but I thank God for applying you to us, allowing you to go with me on a week-to-week basis to talk about public education, attend the meetings, and what have you. Reverend Baxter and I attended a meeting this week where the superintendent of schools of Madison County Schools just presented his 10-year capital plan for the school system. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could have been there. It was something of a plan. But listen, let me say this here. I'll come back to that shortly. Stay with me, class. When Reverend Baxter and I left, we passed a school. Now, keep in mind where they had the county commission meeting was at an all-black school that was the one among the first they closed down because they say, well, we're going to go out in the black community. We can close that school down. They're not going to say anything. They're too grinning. They're busy shaking and grinning hand with us. We're going to go out there and do it to them. We couldn't do that with Meriwether and Baxter, but we got some people, they think they're important. We can do it. They took a school, West Middle School, a good school. It wasn't in disarray. They took care of that school. But they had a plan. They closed that school and within 30 days, deemed that school over to the sheriff's department. The new sheriff wanted that building. They ended up creating a new sheriff office and a training ground for officers all over West Tennessee and in the state of Tennessee and anywhere else come and train how to deal with Pee Wee and Bubba and them, because we can make money off them. We're making already $235,000 every time a black goes to prison. They make $250,000 a year off of one. For every black child that is in the juvenile justice system, they make $35,000 to $40,000. It's money making. You wonder why these for-profit institutions are jumping up? That's because of us. And then you walk around, all of our kids are being shot. Extract that from the record, student. The black child that is being shot and left on the street, and some are not covered up and some are covered up, they ended up killing our children and everything. They know that if you kill the seed is what? The black male. If you keep him from going to the school system and graduating, he'll end up getting into a crime, most of them. And then they won't be competing with Melanie and our children. And hopefully, surely they won't be marrying us. And so that's why they get so upset. You see how upset America got when they found out that Prince Harry was marrying a black woman? They got real upset. Oh, we can't have this over here. No, we can't have this. But I don't understand. So we're grinning and laughing with people who don't give a darn about us. Donald Trump told you your communities are bad, your schools are bad. But yet, we standing behind them with a sign, Blacks for Donald Trump. Carried all of our historical black presidents of colleges to the White House for a photo op. And I keep asking, Mr. President, can you tell me what did y'all receive for that? Oh, he hasn't let us know. He hasn't let us know, didn't give us knowledge of what's going. What the hell were you doing up there in that photo op with Donald Trump of all people? Ladies and gentlemen, some of our most educated people, we need to work on them. But ladies and gentlemen, there are schools that are being closed in the black community. Our superintendent announced that they have closed JCM, our historical black college. They closed Whitehall Elementary School in our neighborhood. They closed Denmark Elementary School and middle school in our neighborhood. Now the superintendent is announcing that they're closing Lincoln Elementary School and Alexander School there in our neighborhood. And so they're going to, in short, while you sleeping, grinning, and in church falling out with your big hats and everything, they're telling us that they're going to bust our black children. The word that you need to look for is rezoning. They're going to rezone. They rezone when they zone all of the white kids away from us and concentrated on putting all blacks at Liberty, the new JCM, and at Northside. And then Southside just take a few of them in, and then when they go out there acting a fool, they throw their butt back out to Northside and Liberty. Then we go, they can't do nothing with them kids at Liberty. Don't tell me that. They are doing something when they put them in that school. So you just don't know. You too busy saying Meriwether and Baxter are angry black men. Ladies and gentlemen, I am no more angry. I'm disappointed. I'm more disappointed in my own people than I am them. They doing no more than we allow them to do. We're nearly 50% of the population in my hometown. And ladies and gentlemen, we ain't running nothing. All we doing is making sure that we pay our tax dollars and allow the superintendent to hire all of his friends who don't look like me and put them in position. I'm going to tell you about some of this in just a few minutes, but listen here. Well, now I'm going to just go and tell you right now, because you anxious when I said that. You said, I want to hear what he's saying. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. The majority of the people in the central office who are making the big money doesn't look like me. And those who are making it, they kept it for a certain reason. Let me break it down real quick while we out here talking about, we got a new superintendent. Miss Vivian Williams, that's her name, Miss Vivian Williams, who used to be the principal of the school they closed down, which was Whitehall. Stay with me, ladies and gentlemen. She was over the academics of all of the schools. Well, a board member's son-in-law wanted the position by the name of Jared. And he was able to hit the superintendent up, and they moved Miss Vivian down, which was a demotion. Now, they try to tell you it's a promotion. They moved her out of the position. Let's put it that way then. and put him in the position. Now we have one of the board members, son-in-law. He's out there. Okay, not only that, his wife was working at a school named Lincoln School where they was gonna close. Well, honey, can you get me something out of it? It's difficult working over there with those all black kids. So I like to do something different. I'll talk to him while the black community is asleep. I'll talk to him. While they were asleep, the next thing I know, she's been moved to the Montessori program where the so-called elite kids are. She don't want to be grading papers and at home at night. She want to have her supper ready for her husband. So therefore, he put her in the library and gave her a job title of a media specialist. A little extra money for her for there. And we sit inside, we can't even get black males or black teachers in the skill system. Zambito, she started it. Ruffin continued it. She hired 115 and only 10 of them was black. 3 black males, 7 black teachers. The next superintendent, he come along, he hired 138. We didn't even get 38 new black teachers. So majority of our students are being taught by people of non-color. And you talking about Meriwether angry? Meriwether and Baxter mad? Well, I'll tell you what. I'd rather accept angry black man and angry and mad and a troublemaker than to be considered to be ignorant by the other race. I can tell you one thing. You don't hear him talking about he's ignorant. He don't know what he's talking about. I got over 25 years in education. Ain't nobody else in Jackson got any more experience. And that includes the superintendent than Meriwether. I started out in juvenile court, 13 years. Started the first alternative school, first night school, first zero tolerance school, first truancy board. Went on and wrote a book. Subbed all those years till I got to getting too much knowledge. And the wife was like, oh, get him out of there. He going to stop us from making money and our children from getting jobs. Stop him. And then tell the black community, had a brother from one of the mega church, white brother, told me when he found out that I was going to be running for for school board in District 6 position 2. Want to know, can you quit talking about the superintendent and the Board of Education? I told him, I'm just going to only tell the truth. If I'm lying, y'all bring it to my attention and I'll straighten it out. But I'm going to continue to tell the truth. But ladies and gentlemen, watch this here. He got so angry, he told me he going to turn they've been talking because they got most of the board members out of that elite church up the road from me now. And they said, we're going to turn them against you. Turn the black community and black teachers against me. And you said, now, yes, and that's what you want us to say about Mr. Mayweather. And I'm out here fighting for your grandchildren, your children, people of color. And you hadn't joined me, won't even text me, won't even call me, won't even Facebook me, won't Instagram me, won't Snapchat me. And calling me angry black man. Had one of the local preachers said that I'm upset and I'm miserable and I'm mad. The hell he know about me? Better be checking out your own stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, that stuff doesn't bother me. I'm pressing on because I'm in the hand of an almighty God. I'm on a mission. And it's ordained by God. Ain't nothing you can do greater you. Greatest he that's in me than in the whole world. No weapons. Go and tell the boys this while you're talking about me. No weapons formed against me shall prosper. Not one weapon, no weapon. So ladies and gentlemen, check this out. On the way back, Reverend Baxter and I, now they went over in Denmark and they took that new school and they built you need to go out there for a tour. Reverend Baxter and I had a tour of that facility. And ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be some of a facility. The sheriff going to have a plush office out there. They got rooms to train where they can make sure. One guy even showed us the bill. He said, Mr. Mayor, if they was going to raid a house, and I looked at Reverend Baxter, I think he was going to say if they're going to raid a house in East Jackson, they can come out there at 3 a.m. in the morning and set up the blueprint of that house. Watch this. And at 5:30, bust in there and shoot Pookie dead in the eye. Because they don't have a layout of the bill. They got all that out there. You need to go out there and see why your tax dollars being spent in place of spending all your time talking about some crap like Meriwether's an angry black man. And you ought to be pushing. Man, we're so glad that you're going to the board. I did have one person to say, well, look, I was at the barbershop and as soon as the guy come in, oh, you and Reverend Baxter troublemakers. I said, get your ignorant butt out of here. But listen, Ladies and gentlemen, the guy that was in the chair before I got there said, well, look, I appreciate what you and Reverend Baxter are doing because somebody in this community, listen to what he said, somebody in the black community ought to stand up. A city where there's 47 to 50% black, masters, college degree, fraternities, royalties, preachers, and whatever, ain't but two people that on a weekly, daily basis standing up for the children. That's Professor Merriweather and Reverend Baxter. And then you ought to ask your husband, honey, how come you can't stand up like Brother Merriweather? How come you can't stand up like Reverend Baxter? What about our grandchildren? What about our children? How come you can't join them? And he said, I'm married. Married to what? So, ladies and gentlemen, on the way back, we stopped at the corner down the street from West Middle School where they closed in the over 90% black. And they took our school and now made it a training ground to teach them how to kill us. And we ain't got it yet. There is a school there on the corner after you go down from the airport that is called Family Christian School. The church that's running it is New Life Church. Check it out. Their phone number is 731-300-3385. If you think Merriweather's lying about anything about this church, it's got an all-white staff. Not one black member on the staff, but yet they got black church members who they're educating along with Megan and Todd. The website is www.FCSOFJACKSON, which stands for Family Christian School of Jackson.org. If you don't get that, hit me up. I guess you hit me up and try to get that. But you'll go on there, the principal is white. Now listen, they closed down, they went to a community center for our people in the Denmark area, predominantly black neighborhood. And a white church said, let us have the building. We're going to educate our children. We'll take a few of your kids, but most of them going to be ours. And we're not going to have nothing but an all-white staff. And we'll run it, but we'll pay you all on a year basis. And I talked to the director, and she said to me, well, we couldn't get the people in our neighborhood to keep the utilities paid up, so we decided to let them have it. What a sad commentary for my community of people. And we talking about we intelligent Merriweather angry. Ladies and gentlemen, here's another thing. It had a groundbreaking for a new animal shelter in my hometown, which is less than a mile from me. The Animal Shelter Committee Chairperson, Vicki Lake, I like Vicki Lake, stated this, and I'm quoting her. To me, the way your city is viewed is the way you treat children and the way you treat animals, Vicki said, in her quotes. Ladies and gentlemen, the way you treat children, your community is based upon the way you treat children and animals. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're willing to treat animals better than they will Pee-wee and Bubba and your children and your grandchildren. And you sit inside, we coming into election. Yes, I'm going to vote for you. Yes, sir, you count me in, so-and-so. We're going to keep Merriweather down. We're going to work with you on Merriweather and Baxter, you ignorant person, you. Okay, but I did read this week where there was a black alternative school student, a teacher, that adopted a black male student from a drug family. And she said when they asked her, why did you adopt him? And she said because he had so much potential. And ladies and gentlemen, he has, since she adopted him, has excelled beyond all measures. But ladies and gentlemen, let's watch this here, and we're going to move on to the end of the show. Michael Flint, who was on the network saying lock Hillary Clinton up, is now found guilty as of this show of lying to FBI, and he and his son, he also was in the cahoots with his daddy, could be looking at jail time. So watch this. The Bible says what go around comes around. Whatsoever thou sowest, therefore shall they reap. Now he sowed, and now he's reaping. He's fighting for his life that he won't be taken away from his family and keep his son out of prison. So he's willing to turn state evidence even against the distinguished President Trump. Ray Moore running for Congress of Alabama, rising in the poll. Now, these are people that say we as a people are ignorant and crazy, but they willing to support a man who is being charged with sexual harassment, not of black women, but white women. So if they will vote for a man who is molesting, not molesting, strike that from the record, who is being charged with sexual harassment of several women when they was children, but yet they wouldn't go to the poll and vote for them. And these are the people that we're backing and keeping in office. There should be an investigation and indictment in my hometown. Millions of dollars, which was allocated to be spent toward keeping up buildings in the community, has not been kept up. And now they're closing the building because, according to the superintendent this week, it takes too much money to keep them open. My question is, and why is the people who are worried about me being angry, how come you haven't got angry enough to say, where the hell did the money go? Somebody should be going to jail. But we're too busy building the sheriff department, a new facility, a new training ground for them to train against blacks, and to make sure that we build a $40 million jail in my hometown. And you call yourself intelligent. $17 million of taxpayers' money has already been spent on sexual harassment cases. And you worried about Meriwether and Baxter. My. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruffin Baxter and I had an opportunity to go by the alternative school in Jackson, which is on Chester Street. And the principal was busy, couldn't take us on a tour, so he was going to allow the assistant principal. The assistant principal at the alternative school, the principal is white, in the black neighborhood again. Assistant principal is white. And Reverend Baxter asked, well, can we get the assistant, someone else to show us the facility? Yeah, we can get the assistant principal. Assistant principal came through the door and we looked at him and says, Coach Yancey, what you doing? He said, well, the new superintendent sent me over here. Wasn't you assistant principal at the Early College High School where they got a white principal in our black neighborhood? Another case of that. He said, yeah. But I said, well, so where is the white guy? I said, you can tell us. Well, he sent me over here and sent him over there. Coach Yancey, I'm so sorry to hear about that. Did you do something wrong or something? What was wrong? No, I guess friends over friends helping each other. And I said, well, when he went over there, did he get a raise? Yeah, he got a raise. He's making probably around $75,000. And so he left over here. I said, why did he go? Well, I don't know it. I hadn't talked to him, but rumor says that he said that he needed more money for his family. Of course, now their family is important. We don't even really have a family. We just a tribe. And so I said, well, did you lose money? Yeah, I lost money coming over here. The superintendent, our first black superintendent, you mean to tell me that you lost money coming over here and the white guy made money, you lost money? I said, let's pray. We need to pray with you because God can move you out of this place, this situation. We prayed with him and prayed for him and continue to pray for him. We got news last week that he is, December the 5th is his last day there at the alternative school. He has a job as a principal in Memphis, Tennessee at Westside Middle School. And I'm thankful. Lord, I just thank you for what you've done for Coach Yancey. I just want to continue to say that. So we now got two whites over, principal and assistant principal white at the Early College High School that's getting all the accolades. We had Ms. Epperson moved from her job in the central office, replaced with a friend of a friend, and then she got to be in the new JCM. Catching hell over there, don't even have, got so many students and teachers pushing carts around, don't even have room. And nobody's saying anything except Meriwether and Baxter, them troublemakers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a sad commentary. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad for Coach Yancey. Coach Yancey would do well as administrator. Then I talked back to him a few days ago and found out that when Reverend Baxter went by that the superintendent decided they're not going to even have assistant principal over at the black alternative schools in the black community with the majority of black students. They're going to have a coordinator. I said, Reverend Baxter, I know why they're going to have a coordinator. That is so they can save money, so they can have more money in the pot to continue to hire friends of a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, they are getting the jobs in the central office. Friends of the superintendent, friends of the board, and you sitting back talking about me instead of saying, we behind you. No one's going to turn the clock back on you and try to do anything to you. Will you stand for us? You've been standing for our children, Mr. Merriweather and Mr. Baxter, for a long, long time. And we're not going to let nobody try to tarnish you. I wish they even tried. That's the attitude you should have. Now, I'm not asking you for any help because I got God on my side. Great is he who's in me than them. But ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad commentary. And then to have one of the members of ministers of one of the leading mega church, because I won't quit talking about the school system and revealing their hand and what's going on and all the best jobs going to them. And then they're going to try to silence me by telling me they're going to turn, he told me, he said, we, that means the powers to be, going to turn black folks against me. Oh, you can go on and try to turn them against me, but it ain't going to work. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a sad commentary that you sitting by, running into church and then running out of the church and not doing nothing. Sitting in your meeting, your organizations, and not doing anything. You wasn't at the county commission meeting. Reverend Baxter and I was there. You went at the school board meeting. One lady called me, she said, I see you still going to those board meetings. I'm going to go till I die. I'm going to make sure that my people in my hometown know what's going on. There ought to be indictments. Nobody's went to jail. Our buildings have been in bad disarray. Money was appropriated. Why haven't we been able to get something for our money? But ladies